7:20 right now. That is David Archuleta, Crush, and this is David Archuleta live on the phone. David, good morning, man.
Morning.
It is good to talk to you. Are you a morning person, or is this a little rough for you being up this early?
I'm not a morning person. It's like 6. It's in this. We're an hour behind, I guess. In California, so it's 6 something here. But no, it's good.
Yeah, you got to do. I mean, you got a pretty cool job right now, pretty cool thing going on. So it's like, you got to make a few sacrifices, like getting up early here and there.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do the same thing for school. So getting, just get up early every now and then.
Yeah, you're used to it. Somebody, we put a thing up on our Facebook asking if anybody wants to ask you any questions, and one question somebody said was, what is a typical day like for you? So we know it's not waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Well, actually, I guess I get up a lot early, especially lately. I've had to get up early, but I just never get the hang of it. I guess a typical day is kind of really, it's just a day that you don't know what's going to happen and how it's going to go. Because it's like the schedule constantly changes every 5 minutes, it seems. But, I mean, it just kind of keeps you on your toes and keeps you going with the flow.
Exactly. You're one of those, I mean, you're at a point in your career, though, where you have people, right? So you don't have to, like, follow a schedule. It's more like they grab you and they're like, hey, David, we got to jump on an airplane. David, we got to go here. You got to be on in 5 minutes. Don't you have, like, handlers kind of that keep you in line?
I guess so. Yeah, there are a lot more people involved with your life now. So it's like, oh, okay, it's interesting because it's like running a business.
Exactly. Yeah, you've become a business.
I guess so. Yeah.
You're a tradable commodity.
Weird.
Hey, the new book, you wrote a book called Chords of Strength, and I think you've got a lot of fans out there, a lot of people that like the fact that you're so young, a lot of people that just like you as an artist, a lot of people that like what you represent and that you're pretty wholesome, and I think they'll all probably enjoy the book. But tell people a little bit about the book. I mean, what made you write it and what's in it?
Well, the book is what really got me started with doing it, and what kind of really motivated me to do it was kind of from journal writing, because I wasn't really writing in my journal during the whole American Idol thing and like the album and stuff. And then I read my journal and I just saw these random entries that I'd put in every now and then, and I'm like, wow, he has no idea what's going to happen to him. Just because I was like, man, I don't know what's going to happen with my life and blah, 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 and all the journal entries. So I was like, no one knows this side of me, and no one knows what was going on in my brain, because I don't want my kids and grandkids to have to hear, what everyone else is saying about me.
Exactly.
I want them to be able to hear it from me, and that's why I started writing the journal, and that's kind of where, the book really was, where I was motivated to do that, because it's like I want people to be able to hear my story and hear it from me instead of from everyone else's perspective. So I just kind of talk about, like the American Idol experience and how that was, and with the vocal paralysis thing, and also just other things, kind of what I see in music, why I'm doing it, and what I think music can do for people. That's
awesome.
And that it can do some good for whoever reads it.
Very cool. Yeah, it's definitely, I read a few chapters of it, and it's definitely a pretty uplifting, like motivating read, because you have a pretty inspirational story. I mean, how old were you when you won American Idol, or were on American Idol?
I was 17.
Yes.
It was a couple years ago.
So, I mean, young guy on the show. I mean, huge success now. I mean, Crush went to #2 on the Billboard Hot 100. You're selling millions of records. You've got a book out now, TV appearances. I mean, and all this so young in your career. And I think it's cool to, let people know that stuff like that can happen. How did it, you say you talk about it in the book, how did the American Idol experience happen? Like, what made you decide to go on this show? And did you ever have any second thoughts, or did you just go there and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it all the way, this is going to be awesome? Oh,
no, I definitely had second thoughts. It was just a lot of my family, a lot of my friends were just like, you should audition, blah, blah, blah. And I really was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to, because, I was just like, what am I going to do that's going to help me stand out in front of like with thousands of other people auditioning, trying, for the same thing. I'm like, well, it's not like I'm going to get very far, and my voice isn't able to handle a whole lot since the vocal paralysis thing. So I was like, I don't see how I'm going to really get, very much out of it. I'll be spending a lot of money, and I had to quit my job to go audition because there are certain days that I couldn't miss, and I was missing.
Yeah. What was your job at 17? What were you doing as a job?
I was running lights and sound at a park amphitheater.
That's kind of cool. That's a pretty good gig, I guess. But...
Yeah, it was fun, and I was actually excited that I got a job, and my friends worked there. So I was kind of bummed. I was like, is it worth it? But, I almost didn't go because I didn't want to quit my job. But because it was hard to find a job for the summer. But, I decided just to, you just get that feeling, and it's like, man, something's telling me, it keeps coming back and back even when I try to ignore it. So I actually decided, to say a prayer about it, and that's where I really got my answer that I needed to do it. So, I'm happy that, I decided to go for it, and, that I got the answer that I did, because it went a long way, and it went a lot farther than I ever imagined it would.
Yeah, so you looking back on it, you're probably in a better place now than running lights and sound in an amphitheater?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's been amazing. Still being a teenager, I never thought that I would do all of this. I thought maybe, it seems like it would take like 20 more years to get to everything, but it's cool to see that, even when you're young, you can still, if you're willing to work hard for it, you can make things happen, and even things that you didn't think you could.
That's awesome. Well, so I'm sure with the show, everybody, knows David Archuleta. I'm sure people that knew you before are, pretty excited to hang around you. Life's got to be pretty good. What's life like with the ladies? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you dating anybody? Have the prospects improved?
I haven't gone on too many dates. I don't have a girlfriend.
You're just focusing on work?
I guess it's just kind of slow. I haven't really focused on it a whole lot. I guess right now it's just kind of more focused on the music, and I guess they say like married to the music or whatever, married to the career. I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And what's going on other than the book Chords of Strength, which people can pick up in bookstores now? Are you working on a new album? Are you just working on certain songs?
I actually the album, I've been pretty involved with the writing process this time around, trying to just get more of things I want to say in there, and the single is actually that should be coming out in July next month.
Very
so
cool.
That's exciting, and then the album's going to be coming out in the fall.
Excellent. So people can look forward to that. Another album for David Archuleta. What's the plan for the future?
Yeah.
You want to get into acting, anything like that, or you want to just stick to cranking out albums for as long as you can?
I want to just when I first did it, I just thought I would all I'm good at is music, and that's all I'm going to stick to, because it's not like anything else is going to work. I'm not good at anything else. But it's like I didn't think I'd write a book either, so
yeah.
Never say never. I think it'd be fun to get into more acting. I made a couple of guest appearances as myself on some things, which was a lot of fun. So it's like, hey, I wouldn't mind being willing. I wouldn't mind trying out some more stuff in acting. I probably need to take some classes first before I get really into that.
Yeah, but you're open to it.
Fun.
Excellent. That's awesome. It sounds like everything, the world is your oyster, as they say, David. David Archuleta, his new book, Chords of Strength, it's available in bookstores now, and we'll look for a new album from you coming out this fall. So, David Archuleta, congratulations on all the success, man, and thanks for inspiring young people everywhere, man, and thanks for being on the show this morning.
Oh, thank you.
All right, bye, David.
Bye.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.